What's going on YouTube? It's your boy Dermy Wormy. I'm coming at you with another video, and today we're actually talking about Star Wars The Acolyte, because you come over here to the first trailer that came out for Star Wars The Acolyte, and it was ratioed to heck and back. Why is that? Because it's garbage. It's fanfic. It's not real Star Wars. It will never be real Star Wars. This is a brainchild of modern day Disney using their own fanfic, The High Republic, to justify a more identity politic themed show centered around just nonsense, not actual Star Wars. There's nothing about this that is Star Wars, and fans have been rejecting it. It's not just the first trailer that got ratioed to heck and back. We also have the second trailer that also got ratioed, sitting right here at 180,000 downvotes. People aren't excited for the show, and I don't blame them. Heck, when it comes to the news, all we've ever gotten was things like this. The Acolyte star Jodie Turner-Smith praises how series is part of a wave of more inclusive and beautiful represented Star Wars shows. We also had the Acolyte Charlie Barnett absurdly claims he never believed he could play a Jedi because I was not reflected for so many times throughout these films in the past. What else? Oh, the Acolyte actress Amanda Steinberg claims the world of fantasy and sci-fi hasn't felt like a safe space for people of color. And the Acolyte showrunner Leslye Headland points to Star Wars creator George Lucas as an example of misogyny of the auteur myth. Well, we also had the Acolyte Jodie Turner-Smith claims show having a black lead is groundbreaking, says Star Wars is about a man's journey, all while also saying in the exact same interview that Star Wars is always very patriarchal. All we've ever seen from any of the backgrounds, from any of the interviews, of any of the discussion is progressive identity politics. That's all we have seen. Then when it comes to the actual show, we're not seeing Star Wars. We're seeing modern day Disney garbage being shoved in our faces, and fans aren't excited for it. But hey, they already know that they have trash on their hands. Disney already knows that they have a garbage pile waiting to explode in their pocket right now. And they're coming out here using same arguments they have used time and time again. Because we start here at Breitbart. Kathleen Kennedy blames next possible Star Wars flop on male fans. But that's not all she said, because we come over here to Variety. Lucasfilm boss Kathleen Kennedy says a lot of women in Star Wars struggle with fan attacks because of the fan base being so male dominated. Interesting how they're finally admitting that it was a male dominated fan base the entire time, that they ended up making a Disney princess fan base, but let's not argue semantics right now. But what did she say? What actually did she end up saying? Because we scroll down here. As reported by the Times, a loud, primordial part of the Star Wars fandom has pushed back in predictable fashion against the show. Why are there so many women, girls, and minority characters increasingly dominating the ranks of Jedi? Reads a comment on the Acolyte trailer, with others expressing a similar worldview. Some trolls have even nicknamed Headland's series The Wokeolite, which I think is a more accurate description of what we're about to see here. And I actually kind of like that claim. But no. People are pointing out how disrespectful it is and how non-Star Wars it truly is. Yeah, they're putting out the diversity because it looks very beige, but that's all they've ever promised us is diversity, because Star Wars needs more diverse characters. Star Wars needs more of this, ignoring all the past diverse characters, ignoring fan favorite characters from the past just in honor of their new agendas. Well, what did Kathleen Kennedy say to this? My belief is that storytelling does need to be representative of all people, Kennedy told the publication about her support for Headland's Acolyte. That's an easy decision for me. Operating within these giant franchises now with social media and the level of expectation, it's terrifying, Kennedy continued. I think Leslye has struggled a little bit with it. I think a lot of women who step into Star Wars struggle with this a bit more because the fan base being so male dominated, they sometimes get attacked in ways that can be quite personal. Well, I mean, she is the former assistant to Harvey Weinstein, so there's that. But again, let's take note of what she said. Who was one of the people that has probably gotten the most amount of disdain from Star Wars fans thus far? Rian Johnson. Ryan Johnson and JJ Abrams. Both those two individuals are two male individuals that have probably seen the most hate and vitriol thrown at them from Star Wars fans for what they let in and what has happened since then. I could also arguably say Dave Filoni is up there in those ranks as well, but let's take note of what are they? They're all men. So it's not only women getting crapped on. Heck, almost every show thus far from Star Wars has been a show made by men. So by saying, well, women, when they step into this ring, they just get hate. They get all this hate. I see plenty of men getting hate just as well. So this whole blaming the women doesn't even fly. Heck, we're pointing out you've only been promoting this propaganda this entire time. You've only been pushing your own politics this entire time. And it even shows when you come over here from the Game Rant, Star Wars The Acolyte will reflect showrunners' own queer identity. Yeah. Again, I've already shown you. They've been promising this. They've been praising this. And when we scroll down here, this is from Headland herself. In the same way that the original Star Wars film, A New Hope, is about a young man living in Modesto, California, who doesn't want to take over his dad's hardware store, Headland said to The Advocate, referring to George Lucas's own personal inspiration behind the creation of Star Wars. There's just no way that me being a queer woman is not going to be reflected in my work. But there's a difference there. That story of the New Hope of Luke being on a moisture farm, that's a story everybody can connect to. That's a tale everybody has always been able to connect to. Not wanting to be stuck in this backwater area, not wanting to be stuck in this lone area and aspiring for something greater, aspiring for something to actually do with your life and hoping for a better tomorrow. Yeah, that's something everybody's always wanted. That's basic hero's journey. But nothing in there says of, oh, well, my queer identity. Nothing about that. It comes from like his personal identity. That comes from his lived experience, from his actual experience, and an experience that everybody can relate to. Everybody across the political spectrum, across identities, across life and in different parts of the world can identify with that style story, not wanting to be bogged down in an area that has no room to grow and aspiring for something greater than what you have now. That is storytelling 101 right there. That's what that is. Oh, but what else did we have? Lucasfilm President Kathleen Kennedy says she told the Acolyte creator, "You've written a great Star Wars show. No, go write a Leslye Headland show." They've never wanted to do a Star Wars show. They've never been planning to do a Star Wars show. And when fans are coming out saying they don't like what's going on here, saying they don't like where this is going, it's not because Leslye Headland's a woman. It's because all she's been doing is promising non-Star Wars show and promising propaganda. That's all you guys have been promising this entire time. Oh, but they're already ramping up for all this. Like I've shown you, Kathleen Kennedy's already out there saying it's only the men. The men are just sexist. The men are sexist. We also have Leslye Headland in the same interview saying that all fans that oppose wokeness are just bigots and non-real Star Wars fans. And heck, don't just take that Park Place's word for it. It's in the same interview. Headland has already started to limit her exposure to online chatter about the show to block out any of the toxic fans. And the show hasn't even debuted on Disney Plus yet. As a fan myself, I know how frustrating some Star Wars storytelling in the past has been. I've felt it myself. I wonder what story she's talking about. Is she talking about Disney stories or is she talking about the prequels? That's an important thing. Heck, could she be talking about the Clone Wars? Because all OT, prequels, Clone Wars, there's a lot of debate back and forth on what's accurate. Heck, even EU fans have their own area in all of this. But okay, what are you talking about? Oh, I'm willing to bet she's talking about the prequels here. I stand by my empathy for Star Wars fans, but I want to be clear. Anyone who engages in bigotry, racism, or hate speech, I don't consider a fan. I don't consider you a fan. Nothing of this have actually shown you that it's a fan. Heck, you called George Lucas a misogynist. Heck, you've been promising zero actual Star Wars in any of this, and you're already calling real fans bigots. You're already calling the people that are coming out here criticizing this bigots. Kathleen Kennedy's already calling us sexist. That's what they're doing right now. And it's an old playbook. It's straight from their previous playbook. Come back over here. After endorsing calling all white people racist, Lucasfilm prepped actress Moses Ingram against racist backlash to her Obi-Wan Kenobi character. Oh, Star Wars makes a bizarre late-night tweet about racism and Obi-Wan Kenobi actress Moses Ingram. And then we had this Obi-Wan Kenobi actress Moses Ingram share screenshots of abuse she received. What was that abuse? Like 2 to 3 comments on Instagram from random posts saying, honestly, something not nice, but they use this to justify calling the entirety of Star Wars fans racist. They prepped this in advance. They always planned to do this. And then you come over here, you had even Ewan McGregor sign on to this, doing his hostage video in a freaking car, calling all fans racist, calling them all bigots, when they were just criticizing a show saying it was bad. They planned this in advance. This is just another example of where they're taking this. They're going to call each and every single person that is calling it garbage, racist, sexist, misogynistic, bigots, all the ist and the isms, and they're just going to do it because they have no creative bone in their body. They're using old tactics from 2016. They're doing the same stuff all over again, and they're just going to keep doing it because they have nothing else to do. They don't have a proper way to make a show. They don't know what they're doing, and they know fans are already against what it is they're putting out here. That's the bottom line, and they know that this isn't real Star Wars and that the real fans have already rejected it. But I'm going to leave it there, guys. Let me get you guys' thoughts on all this down in the comments below. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, share it out, friends, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell for every time I put out a new video go live, guys. And I'll see you all on the next one. Bye for now.